On behalf of the Global Executive Committee of the People's Coalition on Food Sovereignty, I am very happy to be part of this event. I am Alejandro Barrios from a Bolivian Quechua family delivering this message from a small town of Ocuri, Bolivia. The PCFS, which was founded in 2004, is a South-led global network of grassroots food producers across 53 countries struggling for food sovereignty, and this is our message. Indigenous knowledge systems are distilled from generations of observation and practices. While practices differ, we are anchored on the same principle across the world, the interconnectedness of the people and our environment. We conserve the environment while fulfilling the needs and aspirations of the community. In IPTK, which is my organization, as part of our unit Madre Tierra or Pachamama, we are implementing several projects while with our indigenous communities managing biodiversity while promoting their self-representation for structural changes in recognition of the indigenous people's knowledge. But recognizing indigenous people's knowledge must equally acknowledge critical facts. How can we indigenous communities continue to be guardians of biodiversity when we are subject to murder, persecution, discrimination, and landlessness? Despite the adoption of the UNDRIP and global clamor for recognizing community land rights of indigenous peoples, only a tenth of community lands globally are recognized. Without this recognition, indigenous peoples' territories are under constant threats of large-scale land grabbing by agribusiness, mining corporations, and big-ticket projects like mega dams. Another major driver of biodiversity loss is the use of toxic pesticides, especially in plantations that encroach our lands. These disseminate pollinator populations and adversely impact biodiversity and fragile ecosystems. This is why we are greatly disappointed by the FAO's announced partnership with CropLife International, the global association of the world's largest agrochemical and seed companies. CropLife member companies make more than one-third of their sales income from a highly hazardous pesticides, the pesticides that are most harmful to human health and the environment. And FAO partnership with CropLife runs directly counter to the urgently needed transition to innovative, knowledge-intensive ecological approach known as agroecology that FAO has been supporting in the recent years. Furthermore, in Colombia, Brazil, the Philippines, and elsewhere, indigenous peoples, we are being gunned down for defending our lands, the forests, and the world's biodiversity. As current global systems remain tilted towards corporate interest, with transnational corporations and international finance institutions constantly financing projects that fuel militarization and conflict in ethnic areas, land grabbing, plunder, and human rights violation, our recognition for the guardians of the biodiversity are mere empty phrases. We call on FAO and civil society to join us in advocating for recognition of indigenous peoples' right to land and resources, and self-determination, protection of the forests, peatlands, and rainforests by stopping land grabbing of corporations and so-called development projects, banning the use of highly hazardous pesticides and expansion of monocrop plantations encroaching our lands, sever the FAO CropLife Alliance and holding guilty states and corporations accountable for killing farmers and indigenous peoples. We invite you all to join the UNFSS Counter Summit of the Global People Summit on Food Systems, where the voices of indigenous peoples are not drowned by transnational corporations, land grabbers, and their lobbyists. Fight for just, equitable, healthy, and sustainable food system now. Stop killing farmers and indigenous peoples.